Right here with John H. Lilly of the Independence Patriots here on I guess it's kind of becoming a tradition for you, John, practicing on Thanksgivings, what everybody wants to do, and today's Thanksgiving, you're doing it again.
Yeah, I told the boys, make sure that you appreciate practicing on Thanksgiving Day because, in high school football in West Virginia, practicing on Thanksgiving Day means you did something very special. So, and it's earned. It's not given. Everybody gets to play in the first game, but not everybody gets to play on Thanksgiving Day. So, we just told them to appreciate it. Don't get spoiled with it. Stay hungry, but take a minute and smell the popcorn today.
Obviously, a lot of things have transpired this year, but I mean, this week a real tragedy for your program, and I know you gotta push through it, but a couple of your players lost a parent this week, and that's got to be tough for the program right now.
Well, she was special. She was special to our program. She was a cook in our school, Jennifer. She was a cook in our school, but she was also one of our football moms that, and she's been here for 7 years. Like I said earlier in the year, I think it's only 1 year that I've been here that a Phelan boy hadn't played for me. So it hit hard, and it hit the kids hard. I'm proud of them. They battled through it. Both boys have been here practice every day, and they battled through it because they know that she was a football mom. I mean, football and those two boys was her life, and it's been a tough pill to swallow.
Are they going to try to play on Saturday?
Yeah, they're going to play, and that's what she would have wanted,
Right.
and we'll honor that, But it's been a situation. I'm very proud of our team. We've just handled so much adversity this year. It's almost like they're numb.
Obviously, the opponent is Philip Barber. Before I get to them, a little throwback to Sunday. You guys really ran the ball well. I mean, talk about Silas Nelson first of all. 39 carries. I mean, you don't see that every day. 338 yards, the second most the team's had in your time here.
Yeah.
Just a heck of a performance.
Yeah, I think one time, I think Judah carried the ball 41 times against Bluefield in a playoff game, and I think Atticus carried it once, twice, 30 sometimes. But that was a special performance by a young man who's just gotten better every week. And the thing with him is he's probably a better wide receiver. So he can do things coming out of the backfield if we need to. We put him at quarterback a little bit on Sunday and did some packages with him at quarterback. He's just a very, very special, unique player who can do a lot of things for us. And as the season's gotten on, he's got more used to, more accustomed to playing quarterback. Running back, because he played quarterback for us last year. And he's a very unselfish player. I mean, none of this works unless he's unselfish. And once you get to know Si, he don't talk a whole lot. He just does what you ask him to do.
I don't want to compare players or anything because every player is different. But if you look at the guys you had Atticus Goodson. I think before that there was a guy that had 1,500 yards for you too. You've got Atticus Goodson 2 years, 3 years actually as a running back. Behind him was Judah Price. Both those won Kennedy Awards. Following that was Tyler Linksweiler, who backed both of them up at one point in his career. Well, Silas Nelson didn't come from it that way. He played receiver for you. He led you to 6 straight wins at quarterback last year, going all the way to the semifinals. What about just coming out and not really playing that position like some of these other guys have, and to put up a similar type numbers?
I just shows you what kind of athlete he is, but also what kind of kid he is. I mean, we've asked him to play wide receiver. He played wide receiver, don't say a word. We move him to quarterback, doesn't say a word. Put him at running back, doesn't say a word. Very humble kid, very quiet kid, introverted. He just does what we ask him to do and never complains, win, lose, or draw. He doesn't get upset or anything. He's just a great kid. And, God's blessed me with some great kids over here. You come over here quite a bit, so a lot of our kids, even though we've had a little bit of success, they're all pretty good kids. They're pretty humble. They're not egotistical or, big heads about it. They're pretty good kids.
Brady Rose is a young man I got to talk to today, and I know that he has a special place in your heart just because of what he did to earn his spot. Just talk about him and maybe that thing that you're so proud of him for.
Well, one thing I'm proud of him for is, his first year here, he transferred, and he sat out a whole year. That was back with the old rule, and but he set out, but he was allowed to practice. He just couldn't play, and he never missed a day of practice. Not one day of practice did he miss. And I don't know if too many kids will do that, and he would come to practice and be our best practice player. He's extremely, he's extremely good athlete. I don't know if you ever see him, he don't have a smile on his face. But he never wavered. He made his decision. He came over, and he worked really hard to play for us the last 2 years. Last year he got his knee banged up, so he waited his turn, and he's had a good year because he waited his turn. He's invaluable to us on kickoff returns and punt returns.
A lot of talk about this Philip Barber front for them. You played. I don't know if people realize this. Your 3 losses were to the number 1 team in AAA, Independence again AA, but the number 1, number 4, and number 5 teams in AAA are your 3 losses. Where does this Philip Barber? What's Philip Barber? This front look like? I've heard a lot of talk about how big they're and how big this front is.
Oh, they're big. I mean, they're big. They're probably the biggest front we played this year. They're bigger than Hoover, Princeton, and the other 2, Oak Hill. They're overall bigger size-wise than all 4 of the AAA teams we played this year, and there's no AA team in comparison to them size-wise. They do, and they use it wisely. I mean, they move people around and they do some unbalanced stuff. They do a lot of things that can hurt you because they're just always going to make you think, and sometimes we don't think very well. And so it's a huge challenge for us as far as trying to match up with that.
How do you attack I would imagine a lot of those kids, because it is AA, play both ways. How do you attack a front like that too? You would think maybe the run game would not be as prevalent, or maybe not work as good against a big, if they're athletic enough to do that.
Well, nobody's run the ball on them this year. I mean, there's just not a lot of creases in there because they're so big. So you just got to be kind of more in, use more ingenuity on how to get where you want to be and do the things that you want to do. They're going to do what they do best, and we're small. They know we're small in size, so we know they're just going to try to ram it down our throat and probably take a couple shots. But it's just got to go out and play. You got to go out there and step up.
Surprised to be playing on a Saturday, given the fact that you played on a Sunday last week?
Yeah, I kind of thought we'd play on Friday. I would have probably played on Friday and eliminated practice day for them. But I think it's a long trip, and I think their coach wanted to, take some extra time and not have to rush getting down here on a Friday and play on a Black Friday. It's tough to play on Black Friday, to be honest with you. We had to do it a couple times, and
Bluefield comes to mind.
Yeah, Bluefield coming. That was tough. It was tough to do. Sunday was tough to do because it was so awkward, playing on Sunday. But it might be the only chance I ever get to play on Sunday. I can brag I played on Sunday. So.
And maybe you can go to the NFL.
Yeah, well, I think my next job is offensive coordinator of my farm. So.
That'd be like a game.
Yeah,
you can go to a game on a Sunday.
My next job is offensive coordinator of Garden Lane Farm. So.
This has been, like I said, kind of a tradition for you guys. What kind of stuff are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? I mean, it's been a great football ride for you here, but you don't even have to talk about that. I mean, I know you're thankful for your team, your coaches, and everything. But what are some of the things John Lilly's going to celebrate today?
Well, I'm thankful for being alive. You had a little scare there earlier in the year.
Right.
And I think it does change your perspective. I think you've been through something similar to that. It does change your perspective a little bit. But I'm really, thankful that our community has accepted us and follows us and supports us. I'm really thankful that I got an administration. Every principal that I work for here has done nothing but do things to help us, and never do things to hurt us. And I can't say that for other places I've been. And it's such a good feeling to come to work and enjoy coming to work as going to work and hating every minute of being at that place or this place or whatever place. It just when you see it on the internet and you see that this place is special. Coach Cuthbert told me when I took the job, he goes, "Hey man, this is a special place." It took me a minute to figure it out, but you know, Independence is a special, special place to be, and I'm grateful to be here.
Right, John, as always, I appreciate turkey or ham.
Turkey.
Yeah,
Turkey.
I'm with you there.
Steak.
that would work too. John, thank you, man. I
All right,
appreciate it.
thank you.